I turned 80 years old on February 11th, and I share that birthday with a great grandson. And there's 73 years difference between us and our ages. And to me, I'm very proud of him. Of course, I'm proud. I had 7 children. My husband and I, Manny, we had 7 children, 5 boys and 2 daughters. We are Silch. We, the Okanagan people, are Silch. And our language is, we're Okanagan, and our language is Silch. And so we were a people here. My grandmother told stories. We are rich in history. We have like certified people in their knowledge of the land, the animals, medicinal plants. We were rich. We did not need anything. The land supported us in every way, in every facet of our lives. And of course, there's protocols. There's always, there's rules to everything. You have to abide by the rules. So the sooner you learn those, how to follow them, life kind of gets easier for you as you grow and you mature, and when you become a parent. And you'll have the skills, because those are skills that you learn to carry on. Being an Aboriginal person. Those are rules, language, our laws. We have everything in our language. We have laws, we have discipline, we have, we teach our young, we can teach our young everything there is about the land. And we are trying very hard to revive our language. I can't say it's dead, because it's not. That will never be. Not when there's people like Marlene that helps the youth become aware of who they are. And when we have teachers that graduate out of Inalkan, and we have other workers that teach about our history, our language, our how to take care of our plants, our animals. Because as Silch people, we consider ourselves stewards of this land. So we have quite a responsibility to live up to. I'm also a residential school survivor, and that's what I'm supposed to be talking about. But I think that I need you to look at me as a person. What I'm going to tell you is kind of personal. It's kind of affected me mentally. Because when you look at as you look at me, I hope I look like a normal person. Like any other person that you would meet on a street. Because to me, I am a proud person. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what I've endured to sustain my spiritual part, my being an Indian, being a grandmother, being a great grandma, being a sister, being an aunt, a friend. I am all that same person. But there are things that happened in a residential school that is not a pretty story. And it took us many years there were braver souls than I were to begin with that talked about the first impact, the sexual abuse in the residential schools. And but I refused to carry the shame because it was not my fault. I was the child, and the people that were in charge of the schools were the adults. They exposed all those young Native children to the sexual abuse, and they never done anything. There was one nun used to tell us, turn the other cheek, And so if you got slapped on one side of your cheek, what do? You turn the other side, and do they hit that side too? So if anyone done you anything bad or anything shameful, you were supposed to turn the other cheek and not acknowledge it or not talk about it to anyone. And I only come and tell my story because I want you to see what a residential school survivor looks like. We are normal. On the exterior, we are normal like any other person. But what has happened to us internally, what has been done to us, should never have happened. Because to begin with, we were forcibly removed from our families. Someone in government always decides as to what is best for us Indian people and passes a law. It says, well, you're going to live under these conditions, and if you break them, some of those old laws are probably still in place. Because no one has removed them over the years. And we are not the problem. We are not the problem. The problem is that we have title to those lands yet, which the government wants, literally, without, what can I say, without our entitlement to any compensation of any kind. I went to the residential school in 1942 or 43. And there was probably no more children in all our communities in Oliver, in Penticton, and all along these communities going into Kamloops, because we were transported. You see in the truck, looked like a cattle truck, and there were no seats provided in that. There were no canopy over the top to keep the sun out. And when we first got on at Penticton, because there wasn't too many of us, they had we had to hold on to the sides of that truck to keep our balance. Because the smaller children, they rolled around because they couldn't hold on, and there were no adult people in the back with us to look out for us. There was just a truck driver, and he made his way all along. We went round all the way, and the roads back in those days were not paved because there were not that many cars. People traveled by horse and buggy, riding a saddle horse. So by the time we get into Kamloops, we go by Chase, Enderby, and all those little communities, Squilix. The truck is full. When we reached the school, they literally kind of herd us out, and they strip us of our clothing, and they give us cold showers, and they put that delicer, I guess I may as well say that, delicer, in our hair right away, and they cut our hair. Because my hair, I used to have braids way down my back, and they cut our hair right short. And today I won't have bangs. I don't like bangs. And they used to shave the back of my head. And my ears, they used to cut the hair was just straight across. I had bangs, and of course it made it easier to take care of it, I suppose, because we had to take care of ourselves. Each day we, like I was trying to figure out how many days was it from September to June? Because we went from September, probably around Labor Day or before then, and we went until June. And so it would be almost like 300 days or a little bit more. We were away from our parents each year. When you think about the residential school and you want to teach about the residential school, to me it's quite sensitive when it comes to young people because of sexual abuse. And the parents knew about it. The parents are going to be put in prison if they refuse to bring their children to the schools. My stepfather was one that was willing to go to jail. But he had no choice. My mother didn't have a choice. We were removed from their care. I think the government and the priests they did not live up to whatever plans they had for us. I guess what's disheartening for me is that they gave us such drab food every meal, and then to read years later that they saved the government so many $1,000s, and yet the clothing, the food, the bedding, the education was not up to standards. It should never. Teachings like that should never have been allowed. But I think as adults, we should take more